Sovereigns are my favorite coin, and I've gone big on sovereigns of late, and I get asked a lot recently anyway. Why? Why sovereigns? Why not pure gold? Surely pure gold is better, you're getting more bang for your buck. Well, it's all about the gold content, and with sovereigns, they are easy to sell, they are popular, people like them, people collect them, their bullion weight is their bullion weight. The gold is the gold in it. It doesn't matter about the purity. People still buy a sovereign because it contains 0.2354 ounces worth of gold. They are cheaper than other fractional bits of gold. They are fantastic pieces of history to own as well. I could reel on for hours about how good these coins are. They're not perfect, I will grant you that. They don't have some of the modern security features that other gold coins might have, but I don't see that as a problem. And we're going to talk about why in this video. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble where we have down-to-earth discussions about all things precious and shiny. And we're going to be focusing on sovereigns here today. We have a lovely pile of sovereigns, and I'm going to be going through them, checking them, and telling you why I think sovereigns are the best. I get asked that a lot, especially over the last couple of weeks, where, if you haven't seen it, I did a video where I swapped a bunch of gold with Atkinson's bullion for sovereigns. And I really love sovereigns. Sovereigns are, in my opinion, the best coin that you can stack. And it is very important to have the right coin in your own stack. So why sovereigns? It's a question I've been asked a lot. Hopefully I will answer that to some degree today and tell you also some of the pitfalls of sovereigns, because they're not perfect, but they are, in my opinion, the superior coin for me and my stack. Now, that might vary to yours. I'd love to know your opinion down in the comment section, so please feel free to shout at me if you will about holding sovereigns with my bare hands. They're coins made as coins, they can be handled, it's fine. And that's one of the benefits of sovereigns over things like modern brand new 4.9 Britannias and the like, because they are just bullion coins, low premium, low to the ground, meant to be handled and enjoyed, and there is nothing more satisfying than just clinking together sovereigns, and I love them, and I hope you do too. So please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Now, today's video is sponsored by Trusty Metrics, the UK's exclusive supplier of the Sigma precious metal testers. We've got our Pro out here, and we're going to be going through some of these coins and having a test of them as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about Trusty Metrics later in the video, but go and check them out because they are an incredible company, and not just for the UK as well, they supply all around the world. So, sovereigns. Why sovereigns? Well, in the videos that I was talking about with the big gold and why I was changing out for sovereigns, the main driver of that for me is their size. So sovereigns are fractional compared, sorry if anyone hates that, I'm clinking them together, they're just bullion coins, it doesn't matter. Anyway, their fractional nature is, in my opinion, what is the most superior thing about them. An ounce of gold right now, far too expensive, and I would rather have something fractional. But why sovereigns? There are plenty of other fractional bits of gold. Quarter ounce gold, for example, is approximately the same size as a sovereign. A sovereign has a troy ounce weight of 0.2354, so very close to 0.25. But quarter ounce gold has always been, in my opinion, a little bit of a scam, really, because they are premium. They have premium, and if you buy them from dealers, they have sometimes up to 10% premium. So they can be really quite expensive. Certainly from a swap perspective with the dealers, when I was looking at doing it, I wouldn't have got as much gold back for it. So sovereigns for me are better. Now, they do come with their pitfall sovereigns, and we'll talk more on that as we go in this video. But for me, generally, they are the perfect coin. They are the right size, they are the right weight, they are the right purity. Purity, I suppose they're the right purity. Some people are snobs when it comes to purity, and they really want to have only 4.9s or 3.9s fine gold or silver. It doesn't matter. The gold content is still the gold content. And unless it's, well, I suppose it does matter for some people in some countries, because there are rules in some countries like Australia, for example, that if it's not 999, then it's taxable and you have to pay sales tax on it when you buy it. But for the UK, that's not a problem. And these are capital gains tax exempt coins as well. So they really are completely fantastic when it comes to the right choice for me. They have everything that I would possibly want, with the exception of some of the modern security features that come with some of the new bullion coins out there. So What I would say is if you are going to be stacking sovereigns and buying a bunch of sovereigns and having them or swapping out your old coins or your old Britannia coins, for example, your old pure gold coins, the security features on those coins, whilst are good, they do not necessarily mean that they're perfect in terms of never catching a fake, but they are an added benefit compared with the sovereigns. So that's why I've got Sigma machines. That's why I will always have them as long as I have sovereigns, because not only am I going to be able to test sovereigns that I buy in and add to my stack, but I'm also going to be able to prove that the sovereigns that I've got are real if I want to sell them to people on the second-hand market. And if I'm taking these coins into a dealer, that's less important. And if your goal ultimately is just to sell all your coins out to a bullion dealer at the end of their lifespan with you, then you probably don't need to go and spend a lot of money on one of these machines. And these are not cheap pieces of kit, but they are really good. And I will say they are worth their weight in gold when you've got a certain amount of gold, to make sure that what you've got is genuine and to check it. Now, those modern security features on the other coins will somewhat mitigate the need for these machines, but I still would highly recommend that you have them to test your gold. So as we just go siphon through more of these coins, I will just now talk very briefly about Trusty Metrics. So Trusty Metrics have got a really, really great ethos. They are fantastic as an organization. And one of the big selling points is that they are UK based. They're not out in the US. So for those in the UK and perhaps in Europe, because they are now working in various different European countries with in-house boots on the ground, so to speak, businesses on the ground, so to speak, in the likes of Germany, for example, you can have that peace of mind that if you're buying something and if for whatever reason it arrives and it's not quite right, or you don't know how to use it, and perhaps you're getting some strange results on some of your sovereigns, they will be there to help you. Not that I'm saying that Sigma wouldn't in America, but if there was a problem in the machine and you're in the UK and you're having to send that machine back to the US, then there's delays in shipping and problems and all of that. It can be a little bit of an annoyance. But if you have a UK supplier of those machines, then hey, you know what? It's great because they're there to help you, and they will always be there to help you, and they're fantastic at it. So if you're interested in their machines, you can go and check out their whole array. They've got a summer sale on right now, which is a 5% discount across the board. That's nothing to do with me. I don't get any kickback if you go and buy one of the machines, but you also can find a further 5% off by going and checking out their Facebook page. And now that is linked down in the description box below, and you can then go and see the full range of products that they've got and get a whopping massive 10% off the total of your order. One thing I will also say about them, which is fantastic, is that they will help you work out what the right machine for you is. So if you're somebody who's going to be buying a lot of silver and gold from the second-hand market, then you probably want to have one of the Sigma machines that test through the metals, like the Pro or the Investor model over the original. But if you're just going to be doing small end stuff, then maybe the original's right for you. But they will help you make that decision. They will help work with you to work out what your goals are from stacking. Goals are from wanting to test your metals as well, and that is fantastic. So go and check them out. Links in the description to their Facebook page. Go and follow them there, and you can get that additional 5% discount. And of course, there is the 5% discount for their summer sale, which is up there on their website right now. So go and check out Trusty Metrics. So as you've been seeing, it's super easy to test all of these coins through the Sigmas as I've been going. And the lack of the security features on these coins really doesn't make a difference to me at all. It's in many ways the security features that you'll see on these like modern Britannias, I don't want to say are complete gimmicks, because they do serve a purpose and they do have this added extra counterfeit difficulty for modern coin fakers. But at the same time, the premium that comes on top of these coins, maybe because of that, is a little bit gimmicky in my opinion. Ultimately, there are other ways of testing gold. And if you're just going to be relying on security features, then you could be putting yourself up for a bit of trouble if there is a coin that is made that is super easy to counterfeit. You just know it's going to happen at some point. So, sovereigns are great, but they are not perfect. So we're going to talk a little bit about why they're not perfect in the tail end of this video. So there are fakes out there for sovereigns. There are fakes. And the Sigmas won't catch every single fake. Now, what the Sigmas will do is they'll tell you whether or not a fake coin is made of the right alloy of gold. But I have had, and I have shown on this channel, coins come through that have tested ever so slightly strangely on the Sigma and then have turned out to not be the full potential of a sovereign. And if you just go and watch the Chard's YouTube channel, you will also see that there are a lot of fakes that are passing through their testing machines and their showrooms. So they do exist, and you have to sort of have that knowledge about sovereigns to know what to look for. I would like to say that I have got significantly better at picking out fakes or picking out questionable sovereigns from batches of them, and I'm fortunate that I have the ability to see large batches of sovereigns at any one given time. And you'll notice that in this batch of sovereigns here, hopefully the camera's doing it justice and the lighting, it's a bit of a gloomy day here, so you'll have to excuse the lighting somewhat, but there are some coins in this that have different colours to them. They look different, and this one here stands out to me straight away from the naked eye. It has this slightly different and weird tinge to it, and that could well be that it's been cleaned at some point, or it's had like a silver dip situation where it's been dipped in something to make it even shinier or gold looking. It's something that I would take to have a closer look at, but I'm not too worried about it. It meets all of the other parameters for the sovereign in terms of the diameter, the thickness, the obviously the purity here on the Sigma machine is looking good, and I just don't feel like this is a complete fake. I think it's just something that has had a little bit of cleaning go through it. But you'll also see some of the other coins, they do vary from their alloy almost, and you can see that the alloys have changed slightly over the years, this being 1887, then we have 1957 here for the Gillick, and a modern sovereign up here, the sort of pinky sovereigns. So they do change, and they do have those different looks and feel to them. Personally, I'm much more of a fan of the old school gold than the modern gold. They do look a lot better. So sovereigns, I think they're great, and I do genuinely really love collecting them. They feel like a piece of history as well, which is also a nice thing for a history buff like myself. So there we have my views on sovereigns and how it is very easy to test them, even though they're not modern bullion. It's not necessarily going to be right for everybody, and I will appreciate that where you might be geographically, that you'll have to pay taxes on these. I think Australia is the one that springs to mind. I don't know about Canada. I think Canada have them exempt, but there are certain rules about purity in Canada for different metals and sales taxes. So really, really good coins. I like them. I think they're great, and my goal is basically to have enough so that when I get to my dotage and my retirement, I will have enough sovereigns that I will be able to sell one a month and top up my pension, basically. That's the beauty of them, and their fractional nature and the fact that they are not a full ounce of gold is a beautiful thing for me as a stacker. So there we go. My thoughts on sovereigns. I'd love to know your thoughts on sovereigns, so please do feel free to comment down below with what you've got to say on the subject. Otherwise, Cool Kids Club, you need to quote me 1887 down in the comments, which is this slightly strange coloured gold, although I genuinely do believe it is a real sovereign. It's just, I think it's been cleaned. I really do. I think it's been polished. I think that's one of the reasons why it looks a little bit more gold than some of the other coins out there. So there we have sovereigns. Quote me 1887 down in the comments so that I know you are cool. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.